Hello, fabulous friends. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. We are live on this very fabulous Friday. Now, what we are going to be talking about today is all things the power of a good plan. Now, we have seen in particularly the last couple of weeks and even over the last few months, that there are things that can happen way out of your control that can throw all of your best laid plans completely, into the air. And I think one of the really important things to note about all of this type of stuff is that you've got to have the ability to be able to be behaviorally flexible, right? Whilst all of this drama and while everything is going on. But this doesn't mean that you can't make your content work for you. It doesn't mean that you can't make your visibility work for you. And in actual fact, having a really good solid plan should mean that no matter what goes on in the world, that you are able to still function. You're able to still provide a service to people. You're not restricted with where it is that you do that. Now, we've seen countless sporting venues completely just shut down. We've seen there's a big conference supposed to be happening in the States this weekend called Traffic and Conversion. That's being stopped. So I think the thing that we want to be able to think about is that we don't want to be beholden or restricted to only having one way of delivery. So if you've been doing a whole lot of in-person events, then that's kind of unfortunate because a lot of people are just not even going to go out. It's really funny, not funny. I put up a post yesterday or the day before. I was thinking about going to the States in July, and I'm still thinking about it. But what I was kind of thinking was, I didn't expect it to kind of explode in the way that it has over the last couple of days with the travel warnings and this, that, and the other. So I've kind of gone, right, that's a bit interesting. But for me, what I could do and what I've done a lot over the years, and this is what I want you to be thinking about, is that you can do everything that you would do in person, you can actually do online, right? Let me know that you guys can hear me today. I haven't had anyone say hello to me, so please say hi. Let me know you can see me and hear me, because otherwise I'll be very, very sad. So the thing that some of you may not know is that I live in the middle of nowhere. So I live in a tiny little town called Mildura in country Victoria, and I have built this business where I help people all around the world. I built this business from living where I am with really very little in-person delivery compared to what a lot of other people do. We'll run retreats and we do things in person throughout the course of the year, but I have not built my business based on being in the room, being in person, making sure that I can see all the people. Like, that's not how I've built and grown my business. It's also how a lot of my clients have built their business, whether they're living in the CBD, whether they're living in, a tiny town like me. They've been able to also build their businesses by using the internet and video and using that for their course delivery, for their marketing and everything in between. So it means that you're not restricted to only being able to do things in person. So just have a think about that. How can you transfer, if you've been in that position, how can you transfer the way that things have always been done in person, perhaps in your life, to doing them more online? And Video Rockstar is a really great way of helping you to do that. So make sure you jump on that if you are not already in. The link, of course, is in the comments. So despite all of this fear-mongering, despite all of the conspiracy theories, good morning, Margaret. Happy Friday. Hope you can hear me. No one else wants to talk to me today. Let me know that you guys can hear me, please, and thank you. Say hello. The thing, and my eye won't stop watering, so please excuse me if I am not coronavirus. I think there's a bit of dust in the air today. Apologies for this. So the thing is, I guess that despite all of this stuff that's going on, hey Nicole, despite all of this stuff that's going on, and it can be quite challenging because everybody is kind of like, we don't quite know what's going to happen, right? We don't quite know whether we're all going to be in lockdown, whether we're not going to be able to travel, whether we're going to see something like Italy has done, or like Trump has shut all the European travel into the States. He's stopped all of that. We don't know if we're all going to be not allowed to travel to the States. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So we can't control all of that stuff that's happening out there. What we can control and what I can absolutely promise you is that there are still opportunities right now for you to be that voice of reason, for you to be the person who's motivating, inspiring, teaching, educating, helping, doing all of that stuff for your audience. Being that really strong pillar of strength that you can say, hey, you know what, I know the whole world is losing their shit right now, but here's something that you can do to move forward with your health. Here's something that you can do to move forward with your business. Here's something that you can do to move forward with your book. Here's something that you can do to move forward with your soul alignment, with your relationships, with your children. Regardless of whatever it is, there is still things that you can do and provide that can and help put people at ease. Can and will put people at ease. So for me, the thing that I'm really passionate about doing, and I always talk about this stuff, I have been for years, is having a really good solid plan that you can use and implement that enables you to keep building and growing your visibility no matter what is going on out there in the world. So here's what you need to do. Number one, I want you to really take a good, strong, hard look at what is it that you really want to be talking about. What do you love to talk about that you could talk about all day, every day without kind of like running out of things to say? What is something that you could be talking about? And I want you to think about that and then think about how does this tie into the audience that you want to work with? It's really fun. I'm writing my book at the moment, Into the Spotlight, as you are all very well aware because I've been posting about it, it feels incessantly. And I'm currently writing chapter 5 that should be finished today. So chapter 5, which is all about your audience, and I call your audience your hot coal clients. So your hot coal clients are people that you would almost literally walk over hot coals for to help them get to where they want to be. So in your world right now, who are those people? And they might be looking for someone who's not buying into all of the shit. They might be looking for someone who has got some really good, strategic sound advice so that they can feel really grounded, feel really clear, and not get swept up into this drama vortex of panic. No matter what the reality is out there, you don't want to feel anxious. Right? We don't want to feel like we're being swept away in this tornado of shitness because the tornado of shitness is shit. You end up with shit all over you, like yours and everybody else's. So cut those cords. We don't want that. So who is your audience and what do they need to hear from you? Or how can you help inspire and motivate them today? The next thing that you want to have a look at is making sure that you are bringing them through so that they can see how you can help them, right? So we help them with the free stuff. Make sure that you're getting people onto your email list. Make sure that you're getting people, you're giving so much advice, hints, tips, free stuff away so that they can continue to take steps forward. What this does for them, it helps them to see that you are someone who can be believed. It helps them to see that you are someone that they can trust, that they can count on you, that you're not just some, random person that's going to go and explode their heads out when things go awry, right? People, particularly in times like this, they are looking for people who are really solid, really grounded, and really level-headed. So my advice to you today is to not buy into the fear-mongering shit. Take the facts, leave the rest, and be that voice of reason for your people in your way of doing things. Make it really simple. The way that you help people is not the same as anybody else, so make sure that you're really leveraging your own strengths and unique gifts and talents to be able to do that. And I wholeheartedly believe that one of the best ways that you can do this is to show up on camera. Right? Show up on video, whether you pre-record it and you do 50 takes, it doesn't matter. Whether you do it as a live stream, it doesn't matter. Just get out, whether you do it as a quick video in a story, doesn't matter. But you've really got to work your plan. So the next thing that you can do for your plan is go, all right, well, today, what am I going to talk about? And then what am I going to talk about the next day? So for instance, what I've done, just to give you a bit of an insight into, hey, Georgina, happy Friday. Thanks for letting me know you're on. I get really anxious when people don't comment. I'm like, what's wrong? Is the microphone not working? Am I not making any sense? So you all know that I'm promoting Video Rockstar at the moment. It is a program I am ridiculously excited about. I am super passionate about it, and I wholeheartedly believe that it will absolutely, and I know actually because I've seen it happen, that you will get clients as a result of it. You will make money as a result of it. You will have clarity and confidence. But check out my plan. So this came out of my journal. I've got, all right, what am I going to talk about? I've got all of the different topics. So no matter what happens, I know, I keep hitting this thing on the bottom of my new chair. Do you like my new chair? Oh, you can't see it. It's blue. It's like a navy blue. See my new chair? I've had a white chair for years, and now I have a navy blue chair, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. So what I've done for Video Rockstar is I'm like, all right, so what are the key things that I need to share with people? And I just brainstormed all of the things. So I knew today coming in with my eye watering like crazy, it's got freaking dust in it. I've got my book to write. I've got an article that I have to write. I've got all of these things going on. I didn't want to get caught up in like, what the fuck am I going to say today to make sure that everybody knows how excited I am about Video Rockstar and about how amazing it's going to be and how it's really going to help you to get in front of your people and do all these things. I'm like, okay, I just look at my little list. It's like, oh, power of a plan. I know what it is that I'm talking about. So if you're feeling whether you're in an actual launch mode where you're selling stuff and people will still buy from you, even in times like these, okay? If you've got a compelling offer and you're marketing it in the right way and people can see how you can help them, people will still spend money. And especially if it's an online learning because they don't want to have to go and put themselves at risk for being in the room, right? Or some people will make those decisions. So you can still make money. It's like, some people will say, oh, I stopped selling 3 weeks before Christmas. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. I've had my best sales weeks and best sales days actually in the days leading up to Christmas in a business to business model, right? And I know people who are business to consumer have their best days the week before Christmas. So don't buy into the bullshit that, you know, people won't spend money in times that when times are tight, they will, provided that you can show people how to move them forward and move them up and out of wherever it is that they are based on like using what it is that you do. So, you know, don't buy into any of that shit. People are always like, even when times are hard, right? People are still looking for inspiration. People still want to be the better versions of themselves. They still are curious about learning, about getting better, about doing the things that they still want to do, regardless of what's going on in the world. Okay. So just, it's a choice, right? It's a conscious choice that you can make that, you know what? No, my stuff is still of value. People are still going to buy. You may experience an increase in your sales. You might experience a plateau in your sales. You might experience a little dip in your sales, but you still make sales. You still make money. Okay. People still buy houses when the market is shit. People still buy stocks when the market is shit because they know it's going to upturn, right? So if you keep this momentum building around your visibility, if you keep that brand equity that we talked about earlier on in the week, if you keep building brand equity, then you are still setting yourself up for massive success because the tide always turns. Always, always, always. The tide always turns. So the power of your plan. Sit down and map out, if you're in launch mode or if you're in straight marketing mode, what are some things that I'm going to talk about over the next 2 weeks? All you need to think about is 14 things, only 14. Now, if you were to do, you might do it as a post, you might do it as a video, you might do it as a live stream, you might do it as a written blog, whatever. Just think of 14 things that you can talk about. And then you work on how you disseminate that, how you write that. Hey, Tani, hey, Neri. You work out how you disseminate that, how you're going to actually deliver that out through your marketing, or how you're going to tie it into your launch if you're in the middle of launching. People still need help, right? So that's the power of a plan. You can rely on that. It gives you a feeling of control. And I know this because I'm a fucking control freak, not in an unresourceful way, but I really like certainty. And I really like to know, and this is where that structure for me really kind of kicks in. For me, the structure, hey Joe, good to see you. For me, having some structure and having a plan actually creates the space for me to tap into my flow zone, right? To tap into that intuition. I don't have dot points written out for what it is that I'm going to talk about today, but I know that, yep, I've got that, and then bang, we can roll it out. So have a plan. Know your topics. So have a plan. Know your topics. The side note is don't buy into the scaremongering, fear-mongering bullshit. People still need to feel and want to feel better and good about what's going on out there, and they like to be distracted, right? They like to be distracted. So allow you put yourself in their view so that you can be the source of that distraction, right? So you can be that voice of reason like we talked about before. So have a plan, know your topics, and then you have to implement it. Then you got to go do that. Also know your audience, who your hot, cold clients are. We spoke about that earlier as well. So get onto it. This is, of course, all of what we're going to be going deeper in within Video Rockstar, which I am super excited about. We start on the 23rd of March, which is 10 days from now. There are still 8 VIP backstage passes left for you to be able to pick up. So get on that. The link is www.nicolamoras.com.au/video. Would love to host you in there. There is a ton of general entry tickets available in there as well. It is being delivered online, and there is a 2-day event that you will get to come along to as a part of that. So it'll be a Video Rockstar live event. But we will make sure that it is making sure that we're all very, very healthy, and that it's all happening in a way where we are not being exposed to this dreaded lurgy that is floating around the internet and the world everywhere. So there you go, my friends. If you've got any questions about this or anything else that comes up, make sure you let me know. If you've got questions about Video Rockstar, please ask me, let me know. There are payment plans available. Of course, if you pay up front, you'll save a little bit of money. We start on the 23rd. Pre-work will drop early next week so that you can actually get going. And that is that, my fabulous friends. So get out there, go help some people, have your plan, know your topics, know who your audience is. Have a lot of fun doing all of that, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will talk to you very soon.